Okay, good evening, everyone. How is
Good
everybody
evening.
doing?
Hi.
Good.
I think
Uh,
Bruce is the only one who is here since the first time, right? I think nobody kind of officially knows me. So
Really?
that's why I'm here, guys. Yes, I think you're the only one. So
No
that's
way.
why, yes, we have a brand new group, and that's why I'm here, guys.
Ah,
So as I said in the video that I sent you all, some of you know me already a little bit about this English Brazil International, but there's much more to know and to learn, just not only from me, but I can learn something from you as well. And I would like to get you started as well to be able to hold your own session because I'm very curious about you as well. But today, I mean, tonight, we will just keep it on me. So I'm an open book. I already said that many times. If you had the chance to check the audio video, I think I was talking to the other students for an hour. So most of you should know already how my journey went, how everything worked with English and other languages as well. But we can talk about that if you'd like or something else. So I would suggest that you just click on, oh, I'm not that good. Reaction? No. How do you
chat.
raise your hand so we know who's first in line, something like that.
it's in the
So
react.
let's start doing like this. Otherwise, we can get a little bit confused. How does it work? Reactions? Yes. No. Yeah, like this. You see? And then you go first in the screen and then, all right? So if you're ready, I'm ready.
I put a question in the chat.
No, just raise your hands. Like I would like to hear everybody's voices. So it would be better if you do not write, just talk today, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
What are you growing
Carolina,
in your garden this year?
I didn't
What
hear a
are
question.
you growing in your garden this year?
Oh, that's a good question that I have no answer to. My husband is the one who is in charge of the garden here.
Oh,
I have no green fingers whatsoever. And this year, the winter, it was really long. Like we didn't have a spring at all. It was really gray and cold, and it rained a lot. So it was growing lots of like the grass was just growing. So we had some insects. They were eating everything up. So many people who'd like to grow some vegetables, they were struggling with that as well. But for us, we didn't do much. And I'm not a garden lady, sorry.
okay.
Okay, Carolina.
I'd like to ask you about. Let me see from where I start because I have many questions. How did you learn English, Simone?
Yeah, so I also answered that one already, but for me, I was always very interested. I was always very interested in English. I was just crazy about the language, about Americans, Canadians. Everybody who spoke English for me was very exciting. Listening to music. Back then, we had MTV. I don't know if some of you are old enough, but MTV, there was a channel, one of the only ones that we used to have back in the days. For me, like from São Paulo, I'm 44 years old. Just today was my birthday.
Wow,
So
you're
I
old.
was, yeah, 44. So I was watching these MTV channels, I was watching lots of videos and I was trying to learn the music and understand it. And then I was begging my parents to send me abroad because I was sure back then that the only way I could learn the language was going abroad. So the first opportunity that I got was when I was 18 and I went to Canada. As a matter of fact, I have a friend who is supposed to join us in a minute. She knows me from back then, so I thought it would be really nice to introduce her to you as well. Some of you have seen her already. She's held a session, I think, a couple of months ago. So, anyways, yes, It's been that while. It's been for it's long time. When I first went to Toronto, I thought, oh, I've been learning English for such a long time. I know already. So I went there as an exchange student, and I had this school, if I'm not mistaken, it's called LSC, and they have 3 brands in Canada, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. And I went to in Toronto, and I got tested. You know, I had to take a test, and I was stated on level 7, and they had 10 levels. So I could speak and understand something, but I was not fluent at all. So walking on the street, going for groceries, whatsoever, was really tough. And then ever since that experience, I was just so sure I was not going to stay in Brazil anymore, that I wanted to live in a place that I was going to speak English every day. But you know, you cannot control everything in your life. Now I live in Belgium, and I can tell you that I don't speak English every day at all. I just so yes, I don't speak English every day. I can type in English every day. I listen to podcasts every day in English, but I don't speak English every day. All
Okay,
right.
Aura has a question for you.
Yeah, so for you guys, Aura, I'm going to give a little introduction. Aura is not a Brazilian. She's someone that I just met online. And yeah, I have to be a little bit careful not to give so much about her, but she's also here to observe. And later on, we're going to have a little surprise with Aura. Something very special about her. She is 17 years old. She's born in Germany, and she's been living in Portugal for a week. So when we met, she was in South Africa. I think that's a lot already, right? So gonna stop. We're gonna come back to Aura later on. Laura, Aura, what's your question, please?
I just wanted to ask, like, why did you pick Belgium to live in out of all the countries?
I was just trying to explain, there was not my choice. There was just destiny, you know? I was working on a cruise ships. That's where I met Damien. And Damien is the person that I met Aura through. So anyhow, so I met Damien working on a cruise ship as well as my husband. So we were colleagues back then. And of course, there was the love boat. So we got together, we fell in love. And as a Brazilian, I don't know if for you guys it's the same. And sometimes I have to be careful to say as a Brazilian, because for me back then, I fell in love with a Dutch man, right? From the Netherlands. I knew 3 things about the Netherlands, and it was, oh, gay people can get married. Oh, drugs are legalized there, right? And they have a queen. Back then, there was a queen. Now they have a king, but back then they had a queen. That's all I knew, right? So I fell in love with him, and was just like, okay, for us to immigrate to Brazil, for him to immigrate to Brazil, for us to live in Brazil, I don't think it's going to work, right? So I was just like, for sure, I'm going to the Netherlands to live with him, to start the new chapter of my life. So we came to the Netherlands together, but I didn't have any papers. So how could we stay? We just couldn't. We could not stay here. I mean, in the Netherlands, because I live in Belgium. So then we got some information. Being here in Europe, some people told us, why don't you just go across the border, 15 minutes from where we used to live, it's where we live now, 15 minutes difference, right, by car. And they told us, go to Belgium, your husband's gonna get all the papers ready, you get married, and you can stay for the rest of your life. And that's exactly how we did. We ended up being Belgium to get married, and then at the time it just like, oh, we'll see. But then I've been here ever since. It's been 18 years now. Yes. Okay, Alessandra.
Hi everyone. So, Simone, you are always telling us about your work with cruise ships in cruise ships. So, I wanted to know a little bit more about it. How did you started? How long did you work in the cruise? Why you stopped? And I don't know, just a little bit about this.
Yes, that's a great question, that's for sure. My situation, I didn't know much about it. I was not planning on doing it. And it's not like it was a dream, right? Which is like, oh, that's something that I have to do. However, I took tourism as my major. So I studied for 4 years. And in one of these internships that you do, like estágio, right? During your education, I had my first internship stage was in at Disney World, right? I went to Disney World to work for the summer. And then I met some people, of course. You know, you made friends. And when I finished this internship, I went back to Brazil. I was still taking classes at the university, tourism. And then out of something, a guy, he contacts me. He says, oh, should we meet? I have something to tell you. It's been a while. I say, oh, okay, no problem. So he was a person that I met at Disney. And then he came and he told me, oh, you know, I have something for you. I say, what are you talking about? Yeah, I just had my first contract on a cruise ship, and it's definitely something for you. I know you're gonna love it. You work hard and you can take it. Which is like, okay, let's try, right? So when I finished my studies, I applied and I got a job. Oh my gosh, it was so hard. Yes, you have to work 7 days a week, and it was 10 hours a day. It was, of course, I was just 22 when I started. It was lots of fun, and I traveled for the first time. I went to Europe, and of course, all the places that you go are just amazing. Really, like it's always summer. It's the most beautiful places in the world that you can imagine. So of course, I was very, very, very excited. It still was very hard. It was a really tough job. So I was just like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna do it again. And I had a relationship with this guy in Canada that I met a couple of years beforehand. So we were kind of having this long distance relationship. So after this one contract, 6 months from hell, let's say, I'm not going to mention which company that was, but I had a hard time, let's say. So I was just like, it's not for me. I'm going to go back to Canada, try my life there because I'm in love and everything. So I had this relationship with this guy. And of course, it didn't work out. So I was just like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know. And I have to go back to Brazil, and I don't want to go back there because I don't have a job. I don't have friends anymore. And I just felt it. I just knew that I was not going to stay there much longer. So I ended up going back because I didn't have any choice. And then again, someone told me, try again. Another company is going to be good for you. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to go back. And again, 10 hours a day, 7 days a week working. But it was just different. So I did another 3 contracts. And I'm going to tell you, the first one, I was so lucky. I had the world cruise. Can you imagine that? That was my, like, I didn't choose that, right? They hired me, and then they said, okay, you have to fly to San Jose in Costa Rica, and then you're going to do the Caribbean for a couple of months. Then you go to Hawaii, and then you go to the Fiji Islands and Polynesia Islands, all these beautiful places, to Australia, New Zealand. There you go. So I did that for 6 months, and I was just like, of course, I want to go back, right? So I went back to São Paulo, my parents' place, for 2 months. I had to have a little vacation. Then I went back again, 6 months. This 6 months, 4 months in Alaska, and 2 months in the Caribbean. But this one was a little bit tough because the 4 months in Alaska, of course, after a month or 6 weeks, let's say, you already seen everything. So then it starts to get really boring, and it's difficult because when you go, I don't know, I'm talking about 20 years ago or something. So when you do that, there's lots of gases on board. So I was working as a like, how do you call it in Portuguese? A garçonete, yeah, host. I was a waitress. I had this tiny room function, so I was doing a little bit of like waitress job. So it's really tough, right? It was really tough because all the gases, they were staying on board because there was not much to see. Like Alaska, it's a different little islands, let's call. Like they have ports, but there's not much to do. The population is very small. So if you've seen it 2-3 times, then you've seen it at all, you know? So for them, it's the same. Like the elderly people, let's say a little bit older people, they used to go out for a couple of hours and then they come back. They're gonna hang with you, like they want to have a drink or they want to have something small to eat. So you have to give them attention. So of course it was tough, but I was just like, I like it, but I'm gonna have a break. So I had a break. I went to France. So I stayed in France for 6 months with that money that I earned for this whole year. So I had one contract for 6 months, and then I had a second contract for 6 months. So I saved for a year, whole year, and I could stay 6 months in France. Of course, when I was in France, I ran out of money. I didn't have the papers to stay. What I'm gonna do? Go back to São Paulo and start a life? Of course not. Let's go back to the ship. So I called. Oh yeah, I could come back. 2 weeks later, I was on board. I was just like, I told myself, you see, this time I'm gonna take it really serious. I'm not gonna party that much. I'm just gonna go do my thing, save money, and go back to France, right? Because France is the place to be. I can go for a master's degree there. Okay, let's do it. 1 week on board, I met my husband. All the plans changed, right? So, and then I was just like, okay, this is my last contract. So in total, I had 4, each 6 months. And then the rest is history that I'm still making now with my family and my life in Belgium. All right, Vinny.
Hi, Simone. Hi, everyone. Good evening. What to ask? Yes, I have a lot of questions as well. Tell us, I would like to ask, what was your, I don't know, most precious memory you got from this time that you were in a cruise? Did you have something that you were like, damn, this was the thing? Yeah,
Yes,
something like
there's so many, right? Because as I told you guys, when you work on a ship, you visit the most beautiful places in the world, no doubts about it. And so many things that are just like breathtaking, especially for a young person, or I don't want to say Brazilian because I think it doesn't matter where you're from, you know, when you have this opportunity, it's just like mind blowing. It's just like, oh, I mean, here I have 3 that I can mention to you right now. The first one was really arriving at the Fiji Islands. Like we had the cruise ship, but of course there's no port, so you have to take a little boat to the beach area, let's say. So they have, yeah, I think they call tenders. Like they have, the ship stays far from the beach area, so you have to take little boats, right? So I was just, the whole time I was touching myself, you know, it's like that cannot be true. It's a dream. I'm not here. Are you kidding me? Oh, which is like it's so beautiful. And then you had the second. It was when the boat, the cruise ship is huge, right? It arrives at Sydney in Australia. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. And the arrival with the cruise ship, it's really amazing as well. And then the third, maybe should be the first, that is the Panama Canal, you know, the channel in the Panama, when you go from Pacific Ocean to Atlantic Ocean. So you have to go to the crossing. It was really unbelievable how you, like, the boat has to level up to stay at the same level and then you cross it. It was also really, really amazing. Okay, Aura.
lovely, thank you.
Aura?
So like I just wanted to ask because you keep saying that like you would not go back to Brazil, and I just want to like know why you feel that way. Like I don't know. I just want to know why you feel.
I
That's a
think
good
that's a
question,
great,
Aura.
that's a
That's a
really,
good question.
that's a
Simone,
really,
never say that, Simone. That's not good. Brazil is the
I
place to be.
think it's a really great and fair question. And when people ask me this here, because I tell them I'm very happy here. I found my place. I'm really happy in Belgium. That, like when the lady says, I understand why, and that's pretty much what he feels. It's something that he cannot understand, not understand that he cannot explain. I never felt home in Brazil. I know that I look more Brazilian than most of you. It's the stereotype of Brazilian, you know, like, oh, they're dark skinned. I don't have my curls anymore, but I used to have lots of curl, like really Brazilian, like my physicality, my body and everything. It's really Brazilian. So here in Belgium, when I speak, I don't have this Brazilian accent or American accent. When I first arrived, every single time I would open my mouth, they would speak English to me because they thought, oh, you're an English speaker, no Dutch. But now most of them, they think that I'm from here, so I don't have any accent, or a little bit, let's say, and it's hard to tell that if I'm not from here. They're just like, where would she be from? So, you know, they don't bother asking. But that's, yeah, that's, I don't know, I never felt that I belonged to Brazil as a country, and I don't see myself living there. However, like doing this with you guys, I have my family and everything. I still have some feelings towards Brazil, right? But to live there and to have a life, I think that the most important thing for me to be here in Belgium and say to everybody that I'm happy and I'm satisfied and I'm content with my life is due to the fact that in half an hour from my house, I'm in 4 different countries and I can speak 4 different languages, and I would never have that in Brazil. So that's also one of the most important things that I found here, and that's exactly what I always wanted. So just to give you an example, in half an hour from here, I'm in the French-speaking part of Belgium. It's just another world, and we speak French there, you know? And then in half an hour, we are in Germany. It's not that I speak perfect German, but it's just another world to speak German. And then we have the capital of the province that I live here in Belgium. It's called Hasselt, and they speak Belgium, Flemish there. And it's completely different from Maastricht, 15 minutes from here, Dutch. So if I would like to go to Paris, it's 4-hour driving. And if I would like to go to England, it's not even 6 hours driving. So all these things, they are very important to me, you know, when it comes to culture, to languages. And I would never have that in Brazil. Did I answer your question, Aura?
Yeah, you
Okay,
did.
so
I was just
thank you. We also have a special guest tonight, as a new friend from Cameroon, and she has a question. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask if you ever had any bad experience or
Yes,
what?
of course we have bad experiences. That's life, right? And that is a very good question as well. I think for me, one of I had a hard time when look, I went to Canada first when I was 18, right? So it was amazing, right? I was young and it was the first time and I really wanted that. And I was surrounded by students from all over the world. I was learning. I didn't have any problems with money because my father was paying everything. Everything was settled. Just had a good time, right? Then I met this guy. I fell in love with him. And as I said, we kept this long distance relationship. But then I decided to go back to live with him 2 years later, right? So when I arrived there, I didn't have anything, right? I didn't have a job. I didn't have enough money. I just knew him because for 2 years, everybody was gone from the time that I was there first. So it was really a huge risk. My father didn't want to talk to me anymore. My mother said, okay, we know you, that's what you do, just go, I'm going to support you. But it was a very difficult situation and a very difficult choice that I made. And it was, let's call it a bad one, because after a couple of months, maybe even 3 months, we ended up splitting up. And I didn't have a safe blanket. That's what I said. I didn't have anybody except from this friend who was supposed to show up, but she didn't. Let me just send her a quick press. I'm going to send her a little message because I would like her to be here to confirm that. But maybe she's busy with work. Anyway, so it was bad. It was bad. I didn't have a visa in Canada. I was illegal for a while. As I said, I didn't have anything. Of course, I started to work illegally, so I had some money, but it was really bad. But if I could go back, I would do it again because that helped me to become who I am now today. You know what I mean? It was a very bad experience and tough, really tough. Alessandra?
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to know how many languages do you speak? You're
So I
talking
started
about
with English, like I was young. English was my first choice, that's for sure. I think I was 7 when I started asking my parents to put me to English lessons. I think Tatiana is my age, right? And Tatiana is also from São Paulo. Back then it was so difficult, wasn't it? There was not many schools. When I started at 7, I was with so many other students who were older. So it was very difficult for me to start. So I ended up stopping the lessons. My parents didn't have money to pay for private lessons. So I stayed like 5 years without lessons. When I was 12, I started again. So I had the age, let's say, to be in a group. When I was 12, 12. And then I started high school, I think I did it from 14 to 17. So 14 to 17, I started to learn Spanish. So that was the third language. It was Spanish. And then I went to French. And then I was obligated to learn Dutch because I didn't plan on it. So 5 languages, yes. Okay, Priscilla?
Hi, I'm sorry if you've already talked about this because I was kind of away to answer the phone. But what do you like the most culturally about the people in Belgium? Like,
I think the most important thing for us here, Belgians, they're really reserved, right? Everybody does, I don't mind your business. I do my thing, you do your thing. People don't talk about it. It's just like, feel free to do whatever you want. As a matter of fact, it's a good question that you have because I'm going to tell you guys something very particular from my life and what happened to me before. As you guys know, I'm married and I have 2 children. I think most of you know that already. However, for 6 years, 6 long years, my husband and I, we had a wife, let's call it. We were not married to her because we are married. And here in Belgium, it's not allowed to have 2 marriages, let's say. So we had a woman who was living here with us. So it's a very different situation, let's say, right? So it was a couple with children, a family, and a lady came to live with us. Yes, I am bisexual, and my husband also had a relationship with her. So it was like a triad. So that's how we lived for 6 years. And everybody knew about it, right? At my work, here, the neighbors, at school, the children, the principals at school, they knew that my children had 2 mothers. I was the biological mother, and they had someone who also took care of them. So that's what I say. To live here, for me, is very important. I mean, I found my place, right? I can be who I am. I can do whatever I want, and nobody cares. I'm not going to say something else because it's going to be beep, you know? But that's the most, I don't think I could live like this in Brazil. You know what I mean? So I think so was I really answered your question right there, right?
Yeah, thanks.
And I think you're all in shock, so I have no more questions. The live is just finished. Oh my
Simone,
gosh,
now
look at
it's
them.
my
They're
turn,
also
please. Now it's
Hmm?
my turn. I have a lot of questions about animals, about chocolate. Simone, which one is the better, the Belgian chocolate or the Swiss chocolate?
Of course, I'm gonna say it's the Belgium. Are you kidding me? No, but in this area they have like the Swiss chocolate, the German chocolates are also very good. But of course, I think the Belgian chocolate are the best. They have like 3 different Leonidas. Let me try to write down here. I think you have in Brazil as well, because when my family came to visit, they knew that. Where should I go here? Where is the shed now? Oh yeah, here. Like Leonidas. Oh,
Can I
that's how they
share?
say
Can
it.
I share
I
the
don't know.
screen so everyone can see the brand?
Yes, I think it should be the same way that you pronounce in Portuguese as well. Leonidas.
Let me share. What is the name, Simone?
Can you check in the chat? Oh, I can
Oh,
spell it
see.
as well.
Okay.
Leonidas. L-E. Ah, okay.
Leonie. Okay. Chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't know this name.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, you see? So yeah, for I mean,
I
some of my
ate that
family
chocolate in
members,
New York. It's very nice.
yeah, some of my family members they knew that one. So I think this one are the best. But Côte d'Or, yeah, that's the other one. It's also
Cold?
very
Another one?
strong. Côte, nee, C-O-T-E, Charlie Oscar Tango Echo. Yes. D. No. So a space,
Oh.
Côte, that is French, that's why. Yes, and then you do the D, yes. Oh, you see, you already have it on the screen. Yeah.
Wow, I don't know these brands.
But as in the Switzerland,
Yeah, that's why
there
they're
are
very strong here in
there,
Europe and in Belgium as well. So that's
there are
why I go for this.
just like in Switzerland, also in Belgium, we can find different vegetation so the cows can eat and then produce kind of different milk.
There
This is
you go, there
why
you go. And
the
it
flavor is
really
so
tastes this
delicious.
difference, that's for sure. And then you have Godiva, yeah, G-O. Do you know this one, guys?
G-O?
George, Golf, George, O, D for David. Yeah.
Godiva.
I don't know if we have that in Brazil. I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot outside of Brazil, but I never seen it in Brazil.
Oh, you see? So you're learning something else. So all these
Yeah.
3 Belgian brands, they're really strong in Europe here. And they for such a long time, and they all fight among
And Simone, do you live
to be on top.
in Brussels?
That's for sure.
Do you live in Brussels?
No, I live 1 hour from Brussels.
What is the name of the
I
city?
live in the Flemish area. Oh yeah, so let's do that as well. You're gonna go to Google Maps. So I'm gonna show you guys, right?
What is the
Where I
name?
live. Yeah. So go to Maps, and then you put 2 locations. You go to directions, right? Go directions, and I'm gonna show you. LA N-A K-E-N. Lana, yeah, the first one. That's the village that I live, let's say. And then you go on directions and you look for Maastricht. You see how far it is, right? One city to the other.
Directions?
Yeah, you have to put to have 2 points. So directions, and then you go to Maastricht.
Maastricht?
Yeah, M to double A. Yeah, you see the third.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, you're walking. You have to just to take the car. 10 minutes. So you take the car.
Yeah,
and
10
you're
minutes driving.
In 10 minutes, you are in Holland.
Well, but I guess if you want to go for a nice walk, you could do that too, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's for
Oh,
sure.
or running. Or running.
The thing is, here,
yeah.
where I live, it's very flat. So it's very easy. Everybody bikes, everybody, yeah, nobody's used to, like São Paulo, the valley, there you go up and down the whole time. You don't see this here at all. Everything's flat. Actually, I'd like to share a story with you, but let's Adenilson show some pictures for you.
Oh, beautiful place.
Oh, look at that car.
Yeah. From the second World War II, the World War II.
Probably.
Yes.
How's the weather in Belgium?
At the moment, or usually? It's
Or
just
usually,
raining the whole time. Oh, this awful.
Oh, really?
That
Okay.
is really difficult. That's really difficult. They say, of course, we have 4 seasons.
This bridge is there in your place?
Yes, that is 2 minutes from here. With this bridge, you go to Maastricht.
Okay.
You see, it's very flat location.
Okay. Tell us
So,
your...
if you don't mind, I'm going to share a story with you, right? Before Vinny goes for his question. So, this one is so funny. So when I first came to Europe, I already told you guys, I came to Maastricht, right? Because that's where my husband was. I can say based, but it's not sure. That's where he was raised, right? His family, everybody's there. So he was in Maastricht. He is from Maastricht. So I came without knowing much. I already told you. I knew 3 things about the Netherlands. Gay marriage. Now you know why that's important to me. But okay, gay marriage, drugs, not that important, but it's still something that everybody talks about, right? And then, oh, there's a monarchy. This country has a queen. Okay, anyhow. So everything was so different. But of course, at the beginning, I was very confident, right? I had traveled the world. I have lived in different countries. I knew all the languages. Oh, by the way, before I came to the Netherlands, I took, I think, 2 months private lessons with a Dutch lady in Avenida Paulista in São Paulo. So I was going there 3 times a week for 2 hours. I was paying her lots of money because I thought, oh, I'm going to the Netherlands. I have to know a little bit Dutch. I speak already 4 languages. Dutch is going to come just like that. I came, nobody understood anything. I was just an analphabet. They was just like, what? I don't understand. Let's switch to English, much easier. I was so frustrated at the beginning. So anyhow, I was just like, I'm bored. My husband is working. I know nobody here. I have nothing to do. My husband told me, you know what I have to do? You have to let's buy you a bike. Everybody has a bike here. You're going to go around. You can do your thing. I was just like, okay, let me buy a bike. He was just like, where did you learn how to bike? You don't know how to bike because here everybody's pro. Everybody can bike. Like children, they learn how to bike and then they learn how to walk. That bad, right? So when I came here, the way I'm gonna put my leg, I like this. I put my leg across the bike. It was like, why are you going on a bike like that? So here's a bike, right? I go one leg like this, and I go on top of the bike. I think that's how Brazilians do, right? They go like this. They go like this. With two legs, you know, it's completely different. Anyways, I'm gonna have to find a video on how people jump on their bikes for you guys to see. So she's like, okay. And then I did something amazing. I took the bike and I started biking. No idea, no direction. Back then, we didn't have GPS and Google Maps. I was in Belgium. I was just like, what? I saw I saw welcome to Belgium. I was just like, I biked half an hour. I'm in Belgium. I'm in a different country. Oh my gosh, no. You know what I mean? So that was it sounds a little stupid, but it's just how it is sometimes. It's just, oh my gosh, I'm in another country. How could I bike to another country? Like as a Brazilian, you cannot imagine that, right? It's like, what? Oh, I'm in another country. And then I started to read some stuff and I understood. I was just like, what? The Belgians, they speak Dutch? My whole life, I thought that they spoke Flemish, but it's the same language, guys. I didn't know that. So in this part of Belgium where I live, they speak Flemish, which means Brazilian Portuguese. Is the same language. It's a little bit different, but it's the same thing. And I had no idea. You know what I mean? I had to find out by myself because not even my husband told me that. I wanted to kill him after that. We were fighting for a week or something, but that's a story for another time. Vinny, you had a question?
Yes,
Oh,
it's a very funny story. So, well, what about your present, Simone? What's your routine like? What do you do? Present
Oh,
days.
we're gonna go there. We had a really jump.
Yes, do you go often? Like, do
Okay.
you bike often? Yes, etc.
Okay,
What
so
do you-
my life is I wake up every day at 5:30, right? I do yoga for 1 hour. And then I have my children. I have 2 children, right? So I have my children with their things to get ready to school. Then I go with my oldest child. I bring her to school and I leave my youngest one home. So my husband brings her to school, right? Then I work most usually from 8 to 4. I have an office job. I'm responsible for exportation. So it's a company that they produce quartz composites. You can compare it to marmor. I don't know how to say otherwise. Yeah, for the kitchen, in the kitchen, maybe you can show them the new so.
Marble.
Yeah, can you
Marble.
share the screen and then I'm
Okay.
gonna show you guys the company that I work for.
Mhm.
So you just type the company and then you see some pictures.
What is the name?
DIRES
S.
S as Simon, CO. Yes. So you can just click on that one, Belgium Fog, and then you see that's a company I work for, and then you see in the images, or you can go to the websites, whatever.
Now let's go back to the images. I think.
Yeah, just to the images. So yeah, countertops, you see? So for the kitchens, some people use that in the bathroom as well. So it's most usually for in the countertops for in the kitchen. You see, you can use also for stairs. So yeah, that's an office job from 8 to 4 every day. I'm responsible to get these goods out of the country. So I'm working with it's a small company. So I have, let's say, different positions, I do inside sales, the administration, I do logistics because I'm in charge of shipping the goods in the containers or on trucks. So everything that is outside Benelux, there's also something important for you to know. Benelux, it's something that we call 3 countries, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. So these 3 countries are they speak the same language more or less, so they're combined. Sometimes they say it's one, let's say. Then I have a colleague who is in charge of that, because we have also lots of customers from this area, and then you have the rest of the world. So as Irisco, I have customers in Australia, Mexico, New Zealand, Africa, Russia. So I'm in charge of that. So lots of languages involved as well. And then I have my children, very busy with them. Every single evening they have different activities. Like my oldest daughter would like to become an actress, so she does lots of dancing, theater lessons. And the youngest one, she goes for swimming lessons. She goes for drawing. Bruce, is it drawing? Drawing? Oh, Bruce is concentrated on something else. Anyways, you understand.
It is drawing.
Huh?
It's drawing.
Drawing, you see, Tatiana is there to help me out. So drawing, and then we have so many things. So I can almost say I'm a full-time mom. I'm not, because I work full-time, but I'm definitely a tiger mom. Do you know this expression, guys? A tiger mom? So you can consider me that. And then I have the weekends, also lots of activities. My girls, they go for horse riding. And yeah, what else can I say? I like reading a lot. I have friends, and I go swimming 2-3 times a week. I go to the sauna. I try to go for that one is difficult to say. Cycling, because I'm not good on the bike. As my husband told me 20 years ago, I don't think I improved that much, but I go also on the bike twice a week. Let's say I go for walks. There's lots of parks here. I go a lot to theaters, concerts. So that's my life. And then I make some time for you as well, right? So that's about it. I think
Right.
Belinda, are you there? Can you hear us? Belinda, please,
Yes.
we're waiting for you, girl. Where did you go?
I was it was a rainstorm. It was raining and I just got home.
Oh, okay. So you are forgiven. Belinda,
Yes.
please give us a little introduction. Tell them where you are, how we met, and how dear you are to me. Let's go.
Hi. My name is Belinda. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the province of Ontario in Canada. I've I've been living here for I think 50 years. Yeah. I think I've been here like just over 50 years I've been living in Canada. So I'd consider myself Jamaican at heart, but Canadian. I grew up here. I did all my schooling here in Canada. Right now, I'm very active. I have a daughter. I have 3 grandchildren, and I work full time in the healthcare industry. Now, I met Simone about 20 something years ago, 2001, 2002. I can't even remember now. Maybe 2002,
There you go,
2002,
yes.
2003. Yes. And yeah, we just became very good friends. She traveled all over Canada. She, what else can I say to make it
I
sound
think
really
you have to tell
exciting?
them the most important, Belinda, that you saved me. I was such in a bad place, struggling. My
Oh,
relationship didn't work, and she saved me, guys. She's my saver. So tell
yeah, yeah.
more about
So,
that.
I
Because
met
they
her
think
through
my life, this was great, everything was great, just traveling and everything. Tell them how I struggled.
yeah. So she came to Canada. She didn't have like someone to guide or anything like that. I met her through a friend of mine, which that's how we became connected. And then I offered her. She seemed really cool. I mean, you not every day you're gonna invite a stranger in your home, but for some reason the heart was there, and I decided to take my chance. So what happened was I invited her to stay at my home. She stayed at my home. Then I kind of, I got her out of her little, she had like a relationship that was not working out. I helped her with that. She got a job. am I okay? Got her a job. She started working. At that time, it was so illegal, but at the end of the day, I was there. I was willing to take a chance and save my friend's life. She's become a lifelong friend. She worked at the mall, Yorkdale, under my address
Security
and
number, right?
identity. Yeah, my identity number. It's called a social insurance number. She worked under that. I had also given her my health card number, which at those times there was no photograph. So if you got sick, you could go to the doctor, no problem or whatever. So basically she worked. She went to the doctor. There was nothing. I never charged her rent. I never charged her food or anything like that. She was someone that, I consider like my daughter. She was young. She was traveling all over Ontario, trying to get to know the country. So I was just there to help her, to lead her, and just to be her friend and someone that she can talk to at any time. She was having problems with her boyfriend at the time. And I guess I was the one that basically just, freed her mind. And we just became, then you were here for 6 months, right? About
No,
6
I was
months?
longer than that with you for 6 months. We ended up being like on the 1 year and a half. I went to Alberta.
Yeah, she traveled to the other provinces, but we still kept in contact. And from there, she went to the US. So we've always been in contact since then. And I've considered like one of my greatest friends. Yes, definitely. I'm so happy that I met her and her family. I remember her mom and dad at that time used to call. I used to talk to the entire family. Remember that? Even your brother. Yeah. While she was at my place in Toronto, they had nothing to worry about. Took care of her, made sure everything was good with her. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
So
thanks for sharing that, Belinda.
she is
Yeah,
the
did
best
you
thing ever.
understand everything that she says? She has this lovely Canadian accent. It's so great to listen to you. I think if you go for 1 more hour, just listening to you talk about whatever, I think everybody will be just as happy. Thank
My
you so
Canadian
much.
accent? Really? I don't even think I have an accent, but
Oh,
that's
you do. It's beautiful, girl. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. We have some minutes left.
I have another question about when you used to work on a cruise ship, How often would you feel seasick back then when you started working on a cruise ship?
Oh, for me, it was very difficult. I think when I first arrived, the first day, I was already really sick. But they have these pills that they give to you so that you get better. And most of us, I would say newcomers, we don't work the first 2 days because we just get so sick, and they are used to it. They know that new people and the newcomers are going to struggle. So they just let them stay in their cabin and get used to it. But after a while, your body definitely gets used to it. But the higher you go, the more difficult it becomes, because it's just
In higher on the
unstable.
ship?
Yeah. So the ship is huge, and they have so many levels. So the higher you go, the more difficulty you're gonna have to stabilize or to survive, because everything you put in your mouth is just gonna come out just like that. So it is difficult. It's really difficult to get used to it, and then just your body is not made for that, right? We are earth people, not sea people. So it's not that easy.
Yeah, I've been on a cruise ship, and I noticed that when I went to the front of the ship, I don't know if the name is bow, like a small boat, but in the front of ship, I felt that it was shaking a lot, more than in the back of the ship.
Yeah.
And my wife got really sick, vomiting a lot. I was worried about her, because when people say that when someone gets sick inside a ship, it's really difficult to take care of this person, because this person needs to pay privately a doctor inside the ship. There is no health plan inside a ship, It's really difficult too. And speaking of which, Simone, have you ever seen someone dying in a ship?
Yes, I had this experience once. We were just working, and one of our colleagues, he was struggling mentally, and he jumped. So they caught
Wow.
him in a camera, and we never found his body. So we had to,
Wow.
like, the cruise was for 12 days, and they had to cancel like 2 days activities in order to look for this person. But of course, he was never found. It was really difficult for us as crew and also for the passengers on board. But this kind of things, they happen, you know. And even if they say, oh, we have cameras everywhere, we try to have security. Some people, they have the job that they have to watch and during the night, but it's so huge, and it's almost impossible to have an eye everywhere. So this guy, he just jumped.
Wow.
Wanderlei?
First of all, happy birthday. I hope you
Yes,
enjoy the birthday.
thank you.
It's interesting because I've had two students, one who was only for a week, but another student who is sticking with me, and he just got a job on a cruise ship. What would be your advice that I can give to him on his new career? He's a Brazilian. He speaks a little bit above basic, but under immediate English. He's
Wow.
a dancer, and
Oh.
he has just gotten a job and a contract on a cruise ship. What kind of advice can I give to him about his new career?
I think, like, when it comes to positions like that, they have a much easier and better life than we used to have as waiters, because they work in entertainment and it's mostly in the evening, so they have shows. So he's going to have a great time, because every single time that they are ashore, like that they go to a port, he's not going to be working. So he's going to be visiting all these beautiful places that I was talking about. So he's going to have a good time. The only thing that I can tell him is really to be careful, to be on time when he has to be back on the ship, because that also happens quite often. Most of the people who go work on a cruise ship, they're not there to work. They just want to travel, party, and have fun. And they end up missing the boat, you know, like the boat is never gonna wait for him. So if they say you have to be back at 4 p.m. and you're there 1 after 4, forget it. They're not gonna allow you in. And then you have to fly to another port, or your contract is just finished, just right there. I think that for him, it's gonna be the most important thing. Yeah.
He's a very talented guy. He has a great potential. His English is just like I said, it's challenging. So I've told him to work on talking about his country he's from, because he's going to meet so many people, and so many people are going to be like, what is Brazil? What is it like there? Just tell me what the food's like. What happens there? So these are basic things that I've been teaching him, how to describe his country.
There you go. I think that's also very good.
Like, because he has an incredible story. So, yeah. Thank you for the advice. I will tell him. Don't miss his time. Definitely.
Sure. I mean, Tatiana, you're the only one who you don't have a question, or you know me so well already from our chats. We have some private chats going on, so I think she knows everything already. Okay, then.
No. I had many questions, but everybody answered all of them. So one of the questions I was curious about is why you're not interested in coming back to Brazil, but you already responded that. And by the way, happy birthday, and thanks for having the courage to share a little bit of your personal experience. Thank you.
For sure. Guys, I'm an open book. I have no problems whatsoever. I don't know. It's 1 a.m. here.
Woo! Wow.
Oh, that's my daughter, by the way.
Okay, well, listen, we need to sing happy birthday to you in Portuguese.
What about the ones that don't speak Portuguese?
You need to just listen and mimic what we say. You're going to learn.
You can just clap. You can just clap, because
when we sing happy birthday, it's much more fun.
Okay, just give me a second. Aurea, you're in Portugal for 2 weeks already. Do you know how to say that?
I've only been here for a week, but
A
I
week, yeah.
kind of gotten the gist of it. Yeah.
How do you say happy birthday in Portuguese?
Feliz aniversário.
Oh, there you go. Oh, already with the Portuguese accents. Wow.
So we'll
Obrigada,
sing it both in
obrigada.
Portuguese and in English, okay? So the first one is Portuguese. So here we go. Parabéns a você nesta data
Data querida, muitas felicidades,
Muitos
muitos anos de vida.
Parabéns.
Oh, thank you.
pra você.
Obrigada, obrigada, obrigada.
Okay, now we're gonna do English. Belinda, you're gonna lead us in English.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Simone.
Happy birthday to you.
The English
you
version
what?
is slow. The English version is slow. It's
Are
not
you
fast
30?
as the
Very
Brazilian
low.
Are
version.
you 40? And you're supposed to say yay after I
Yeah.
tell you how old you're supposed to be, right? But anyways, happy birthday, Simone.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys. For sure.
And
I'm gonna sleep like a baby now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I think it's
It's a
about
pleasure,
time for us
Simone.
to
Thank you
wrap
for
it up.
inviting me.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
thank
and
you.
I do apologize for being late. Oh my goodness. And you should have seen me running, and it's crazy.
You
Yes.
made it, and that's the most important. And you shared what I wanted you to share. So
Yeah,
perfect,
she's an
perfect,
awesome,
perfect.
amazing friend.
No, you
Amazing.
didn't have to
We're
say
like
that. You just had
family.
to say
Okay.
the truth, and you did.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you
it was
so
the
much,
truth, right?
Linda.
Yeah, definitely. Mwah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm hungry. I gotta go eat some birthday cake.
Okay.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
inviting
guys.
me.
You have a good